Welcome back in our continuing series on my Fusion tutorial. We're going to take our little collector and do a few more kind of advanced things. We're going to look at extending the gameplay by having certain things respawn, perhaps using a larger level. We'll show you how to do that, make the camera follow, and review some of the events and actions as well. I don't think I covered those well in the first two videos, so let's get started with creating a larger level. So right now, if we click on the game itself called Collector and I go to the second tab, it shows that the window size is 640 by 480. If we go into the level itself, it's also 640 by 480. So I'm going to click another option here, and let's just go with, actually I think 640 is going to be 1280. And the 480 is going to be 960, so I just made it 4 times bigger. And as we scroll down, we can see that the level itself, now the window, if we play it, is still the same size. And we are going to make the camera follow the robot. So we got to do that in our event editor. And what we need is an always command. We want the camera to always follow the character. So if we right click, and the scrolling and whatnot is going to be under storyboard controls. Oops, sorry, always. Boom, there we go. Got off track here. And there we go, storyboard controls, always, scrolling. And we're going to use the first one, center window position in frame. Sorry for the cutoff. And we're going to click on the robot. And now if we run it, and but we can't get over there now. So I'll probably need to remove a few blocks, maybe move them up here. And now I can get over to that level. Click on this and continue to block myself in, and pretty much just make the level bigger. I'm not going to make you wait for that. So that's how you do a larger level. And now let's look at the idea of respawning. So we could make the things we collect respawn in random places. We could make it so that the enemy, we can destroy the enemy, and when it's destroyed we can make new enemies, or we can just make more enemies appear. We're going to start off with 3. Now we want them probably to respawn at certain points, because if we just picked random numbers, you know, the width and the height of the total game field, we might end up picking a spot where the alien would appear in the middle of a wall and just get stuck there. So I'm going to make certain spawn points where these aliens can spawn. So I'm going to right click and insert, and we're just going to use the basic active object, but we're going to make it not visible. So we'll go over here to the properties, and when it starts it's not visible. So see, it's not there, but it's there. And we're going to probably, let's see again, choose that, some spawn points. And you know, we can make them also appear out here as well. Anyway, you get the idea. So let's just say that every 5 seconds, we are going to, this is going to be our first double line of code. So every 5 seconds we want to pick one of those spawn points. So we're going to right click right on top of that and insert, should say add in my book, but insert a, there's our spawn points, and we want to go into pick one at random. So every 5 seconds pick one of those, and we are going to create an alien, our enemy, and we're going to create it at the spawn point, the random one that was picked. So You know, I'm going to change it just to make it so we don't have to wait. We'll say every 2 seconds. And this is going to get crazy. Okay, here we go. Boom. And, oh, did you see that one spawn down there? Ah. And they'll just keep spawning. And keep spawning. Making it harder and harder. And so eventually there will be an end of the game when there are so many. Now we can restrict it by saying let's cap it off at like 20 aliens. So every 2 seconds we're going to insert an additional requirement and say so long as the compared to the number of enemy objects, so long as we have lower than, we'll say 20. So that will cap it off every second. So long as there's less than 20, it'll just keep adding, and then it'll stop once we get to 20. It'll add one, and then it'll be at 20, and it's no longer less than 20. So that'll keep things kind of throttled. Otherwise, the game will just get too ridiculous. So you can use that same technique, too, for spawning new bolts if you want to keep the game going that way. So we've got respawning going to make our game longer. We've got larger levels to make it. Last thing I wanted to do was just go back into the event editor and just kind of show you a lot of the possibilities, like for the new condition. This is where if you want to pick basically random numbers, instead of every 3 seconds, we could say every 3 seconds roll the dice, 1 chance out of 5, make it a little more random. If we want to check to see if a particular music track is playing, here we have start a frame, other options here, every we've used. This new object is basically for spawning new things. Mouse pointer, this is where if we want to press a key on a keyboard to perhaps launch. In the next video we are going to cover how we can make the robot launch a projectile at the aliens. So that'll give you a little fighting chance against your enemy. And we can also do things like ammo pickups, and maybe one ammo pickup gives you 5 projectiles. Maybe you're shooting bolts. The very bolts you're collecting, those are what you can shoot back at the alien. We'll just cover all of that stuff in the next video. Anyway, once you pick a particular event and put it all together, all the rules, we've got the columns here, which we've covered some of these before, just to show you all the different possibilities. These are, okay, we'll go in here. Got movement. Oh, darn, that went off. There we go. Positions. We got directions, animation start and stop. Well, you can explore those on your own because I'm getting them chopped off in my little view screen here. So until next time, good luck in Fusion, and if you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. And I have a folder full of requests, and you can check that as well too. The link to all the different requests will be in a folder, link in the description. Have a good one.